What's up, y'all? Prayers for anybody who's watching this. It's Ty G. Follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the bio. We're going to get straight into the topic today, which is talking about your circle of influence, meaning the circle of people you surround yourself with, why you surround yourself with them, and what happens when you begin to change. And I think it's extremely important for us to understand and question the people who we keep around us and why they've been around us for so long. And it may seem almost elementary to look at it like this way, but the more we look at it and the more we reflect on it, the more we'll understand on why these people are around us. And let me give you an example. I had built some relationships with people who the only reason why we became friends or we became close was because of the destructive behaviors that we had. Whether that was constantly sitting around playing video games all day, constantly smoking all day, constantly drinking all day, just not really paying attention and building habits towards our future. Now, I had somebody who was really close to me, and as we kept doing these destructive habits, a year, 2 years go by, I think there was a mind change, switch, where I began to say, you know what, I wanna stop doing these things. I want to stop partying so much. I want to stop drinking so much. I want to stop the destructive behaviors. And you may have friends that you only hang out with and you guys only talk about almost mind rot activities, whether it's social media, whether it's just media in general, whether it's sports. And I love sports, don't get me wrong, but if that's the only topic we're talking about, whether it's people who are extremely provocative, or even if it's just about nightlife in general or drugs, there's nothing that is going to benefit me in the long run through these conversations. So, in me wanting to change my life around, slowly making changes, I'm not going to do this today, I'm not going to do this next week, I'm not going to do this next month. I started to realize this person who I was close with, they began to show little senses of bitterness towards me. Hey man, I'm not gonna go out this night. Again? Hey man, I'm not gonna drink this. How long is this gonna last? Hey man, I'm not gonna smoke this. Are you sure this not gonna end soon? And you're gonna have people who say, I can't wait for this to end. Or I can't wait for the day for you to come back. Meaning that they're not understanding the new version of you. And I had to see this firsthand. So in doing that, I'm going through this progress. As I slowly started to make my way away from destructive behaviors, I started seeing more of this bitterness. I started saying, you know what, I feel better about myself. I'm not using any sort of drugs to get away from my thoughts, but I'm actually addressing them. I know what I want to do in the future. I know what I want to do next week. What's the plan for next week? What's the plan for next month? What's the plan for next year? I'm starting to journal out where I want to see myself. This person, instead of being excited for me, starts slowly trying to degrade me. Whether it's, why am I doing this? Laughing at me. And we have to realize that the people we surround ourselves, we have to watch the way how they talk about others. If you have a friend or family member, whoever that may be that you're close to, if they're constantly talking and gossiping about other people, and you hear about how they talk about other people, how do you think they talk about you when you're not in the room? You can say, oh no, they don't say that. I know they don't. How can you be so sure? We've heard what they say about people who they may not know that much about. Could you imagine what they say about you? Now, as I'm going through this process, I reach a moment where I'm proud of myself. I stop a considerable amount of the destructive habits that I have, and in doing so, I started sharing my progress, focused on not only what I'm doing, but I want to impact others. It's super easy to get caught up in doing the same thing as everyone else, that when you try to branch out, you don't realize that there's other people who have silent cries for help. So I'm posting these things, I'm sharing the stuff. And as I'm going through it, this person is resenting me more, giving me quiet treatment. If I'm trying to reach out and talk, they're not trying to hear it. If I'm trying to help out, they're not trying to talk to me. And they're only inviting me to do things around the same destructive behaviors I explained to them I no longer want to take part in. So they don't view my progress that I'm trying to make in my life as something that's important to them. And we have to realize this when going forward, because it's not on that person to make that change for us, it's on us. The hardest part about this is we tend to look at only the good times in these relationships, and we don't look at if this is going to be beneficial in our future. So a month goes by after me and this person tend to butt heads. And as I'm continuing to share more about my journey, this person goes and tells a mutual friend, I'm so happy that I've never been seen a part of what I've been doing, what Ty's been doing, because I know he's never going to go anywhere. Now, imagine that someone who you thought was your friend, someone who you thought you were close with, is immediately going to turn your back on you when you start to change up the behaviors that you once had with them. And it's not necessarily because they're mad at you, it's because they're mad at themselves. And this is why we have to be mindful about who we surround ourselves with, because you can have people who gain energy from being around you, who gain life from being around you. Oh, hey, I'm gonna go smoke this, I'm gonna go drink this, I'm gonna go party, I'm gonna go do this. Oh, you wanna come do it with me? If he does it with me, that means it's okay. If she does it with me, that means it's okay. The minute you say, oh, I'm gonna put this down, I wanna go focus on this business, I wanna go focus on my body, I wanna go focus on my spirit, that's the time when you're gonna see, and the true testament of your friend is gonna come through. Oh man, why are you gonna do that? You have tomorrow to do it. Do you really? Because you keep saying you're gonna do it and you're not, and they know that. Oh man, a week later goes by. Hey, you wanna come out with me? Nah, I'm focusing on this business. Oh yeah, how is that little business going on? How's that going for you? See the way how they low-key brush something under the rug? How's that little business going on? Instead of saying, dang man, I love to see that. How's the progress growing? What you looking at? What's the next step you trying to be at in the next week, the next month, the next year? And it gets even worse. Maybe you even started taking care of your health. I'm not gonna drink that, I'm not gonna eat that, I'm not gonna do this, I wanna make sure I get this much sleep. Dang, do you never have fun? Do you never wanna go out and hang out with us anymore? Almost trying to guilt trip you into hanging out with them when they don't see that you're trying to take care of yourself. And this is why we must be mindful of this, because the people who we think are the closest to us, they should be happy for us. But sometimes you get the most support from random people, from strangers who can see the work that you're putting in. And the people around you can have or build very vituperative behaviors towards you. They can have a very vituperative attitude towards you. As I'm going through this and I hear this information about this person who doesn't want to be in anything around me, who's talking all this behind my back, I now understand that they're not as mad as they are at me. They're mad at the fact that I no longer am condoning the actions that we both did. So now they have to look at themselves. Think about it. You may have that one relationship with one person where everything y'all do, it may be extremely fun. You may be at the time of your life. Is it beneficial to you? Do you see yourself building any sort of success from it? Change up the behaviors that you guys do together. Say, hey man, let's start going to the gym. Hey man, let's see if we could do the 75-day hard challenge. Let's see if we could read this book in this month. Let's see if we could do that. See how they act towards it. Nah, I'm not a fan of that. But let's go do this. I heard there's this new party going on. Let's go do this. That's the easiest way for you to figure out if this person around you is only around you because you're doing the same things as them, or they're around you because they genuinely appreciate who you are as a person. And you're going to have those people around you who say, oh, you're trying to do better for yourself. Hey, can you teach me something? Can you put me on? Can you explain how you did it? because I see how you're feeling. I see how you're thinking. I see how you're changing. And I've been wanting to do that same thing. And the craziest thing is, strangers are going to notice at first. Strangers are going to be like, man, that seems kind of impressive. You've been doing A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. What's your name? Oh, it's nice to meet you. My name's so-and-so. Yeah, I saw you doing this. I saw you working on that. I was wondering if you could help me out. Of course. But then you're going to have that friend who's going to say, oh, so how's that little thing going on? That little business, that little project, that little diet, that little gym plan. Until 6 months later goes down the road. And they see you getting some more, they see you getting more support. Another 6 months goes down, they see you getting more support, more changes happening. Another 6 months goes on. Now y'all quiet, but you're doing better, and the progress that you're making, everybody can see it. And they're gonna say, oh, I've always supported you. When? Where? How? Because I didn't see it. I didn't experience it. But when other people start talking good about you, that's when they start talking good about you. Or even worse is when they start to bring you down. Oh man, I used to know him. This is what he used to do. He's not really like that. Now we have to be mindful of this, because when you're starting to make these changes within yourself and go through introspection, we can't allow other people to pull us back down to where we once were. People are going to say, oh man, that's condescending. It's not condescending. I knew where I was last month, last year, and I'm not doing the same thing. And because I'm not, this person doesn't like me anymore. They don't see me in the same light, which is fine. They're entitled to their opinion. But because they said something else about me or something else about you, you're going to let them control your emotions? Why? That's what they want. And it's never going to be easy on this path. You may lose some friends. You may lose some family members. You may lose some peers. But the easy decision is never hard, and the hard decision is never easy. So you got to sit around and say, am I willing to sit with this person doing the same thing over and over and over again, and in the same spot? There's no progress being made. And we talk about these stories because that's all we have to our life. We have no goals that are being achieved. We have no people that we met that's going to build towards our future. We have nothing working towards a family that we want to build. We have nothing that we have built positive habits to where other people may ask us and other people may see value in us. It's just stories about, hey, we did this last week, and you remember when we did this? Remember when we did that? Remember when we did this? And hey man, I saw you started the business 6 months ago, and I see you have this many people on your social media page. I see you have this many clients. That's amazing. I'm thinking about starting this up. Can you tell me the hardest thing that you had to go through? Oh yeah, of course I'm gonna put you onto the game. Are you kidding me? You're my brother. Hey man, I saw you lose 20 pounds in the last 4 months. What was your diet plan? What was your meal plan like? How did you do it? What was your routine? Or, hey, I saw you going to church again. I saw you start getting back in the faith. I've been wondering what made you want to get back and closer with God? What made you want to build that relationship? Or you're going to have the people that just say, when you coming back? When are you going to come back to do the things that blinded you? So again, ask yourself this question. Am I mindful about who's around me? Am I mindful about the behaviors that we do with each other? Am I mindful about the environment that we're always in? Am I mindful about the actions that we're always living over and over again? Am I willing to change? Or is this enough for me? Am I content with doing the same thing over and over again? There's no change. And because me and person B, person C, person D are always together doing the same thing, it makes it okay. Are you going to be a leader? Leadership is being able to take your idea and allow other people to see it, allow other people to see that vision. They only see that vision through the work that you have done, through the progress, the results that you're doing. Okay, day 1, no progress. Day 2, no progress. Day 3, day 4, day 5, day 120, progress. Day 240, progress. 1 year, progress. Oh man, how'd you do that? Okay, here was my vision. This is exactly what I did. Then I started seeing results. And this is how I see other people being able to be successful at it. You know what? I'm going to take you up on that. Day 1, they start. Day 2, they start. Day 3, they start. No progress, no progress, no progress. Day 90. Day 240. But hey, you don't got to listen to me about that. I'm not here to condemn you. I'm not here to bring down anybody else. I'm here to make you understand that the people who may be around you may only be around you for certain reasons. And it's better for you to start asking questions now than for something to happen later and they're not around you. And you realize that. And now you feel more lost than ever because you didn't build up yourself to know who you were. You just focused on destructive habits that took more away from you than positive habits that gave more to you. But man, I'm out of here. Follow me down on Instagram. New video coming soon.